Hello YouTube, this is Frank and this is February 5th, 2024 and this is my 75th video and my 2 out of 5 in a series for Libre Computer videos. And this the series has the Frite, Alta, Solitude, and Sweet Potato from Libre Computer, and this is the second video in my series. And I will be using a refurbished PC running Windows 10 Pro. Now on my table I've got another project going on, and that was Professor Schauman's Unix programming course. And I've got 3 Libre computers over there, one Libre Potato running Arbian, a Libre Potato running NetBSD 9.3, and a Frite running NetBSD 10.0 release candidate 1. Now let me take my board down and I'll show you what I've got here. Let's get started here. Disclosure: I have no financial, employment, personal, or family relationship with any brand or product. I purchase all the products that appear in my videos with my money. I'm retired. I just putter around with computers and networking and software. And this is the 2 out of 5, second out of 5 in the series. And we'll look at doing some things with the Frite single board computer. They're not obvious, but they're not hard. I'll be using Windows 10 Pro on a refurbished computer, and we will stay in U-boot on the Frite. Most of this information is scattered across the internet, so the objective is to use U-boot to format the eMMC module and a USB drive, and we will be using the Frite hardware to do this. Of course, now you can use the hardware from a PC to format some of this drive. So the objective, so we will download the utilities and the disk image. We'll connect the wires, power up the Frite, and stay in U-boot. We'll use some U-boot commands, power down the U-boot, power down the Frite, and then we'll install Debian on a flash drive and the eMMC module. Now, I want to warn you that it takes a long time to set up that USB drive. It takes a couple of hours. So I will be pausing my video. The eMMC module, it's much faster. This is just to show you that you can run a USB flash drive on the Frite. This is kind of the hardware overview. We've got a PC. I'll have a USB cable going to the on-the-go connector, a serial cable going to the Frite, and on the Frite we'll have the eMMC module and a bulk USB flash drive. The software on the USB cable, I'll be running Rufus, and on the serial cable, I'll be running Kermit or Putty going from the PC to the Frite. And on the Frite, the memory module, the USB commands are UMS, eMMC, and then for the USB flash drive, UMS 0, USB 0. And these are, we'll just be using basic U-boot commands. Some of the things that I will do can be done much faster. So if you're in a hurry, you can just go to the fast part. The Frite does run boot and run off a flash drive. I will be using several utilities, so use whatever you prefer. And in this video, this is a list of the things that I've got on my table. Get my cursor down here, and I'll show you my table. Show you what I got. These are the Libre computers that I've got on my project from Professor Shaman. Professor Shaman, I'm trying to go through that course that he put on the internet, and I've got a Libre Potato running Armbian, a Libre Potato running NetBSD 9.3, and a Frite running NetBSD 10.0 release candidate 1. So let's see, here's my Frite I will be using in this video. I do have got a number of these Libre Computer videos. This is the Renegade, the Tritium, the Sweet Potato, the Solitude, and the Alta. Now we will be using the Frite in this video. We'll download the Debian 12. Now I use a power supply, and I usually get this. Now this is a power supply with a rocker switch, and when I'm talking about, you mash the rocker, you mash it towards the outlet and it's on, and mash it towards the power supply and it's off. And I can see visibly looking at my rocker switch whether the power is on or off. I prefer these the rocker switch instead of the push button. I can't really. It's harder for me to tell just by looking at the push button whether the power is off or on. And I get these. This is from a Raspberry Pi 3, and I usually get these from Vilrose. Let's see now, and that'll be. Let's see, a module. I've got a module from Libre Computer that I'll be using. Let's see here now. A bulk USB drives. I buy bulk USB drives. They're come in a 50 pack, and that's what I'll be using. An Adafruit serial cable. I kind of like Adafruit's products. A Walmart. Let me get a Walmart Cat 6. You can see that Cat 6 networking cable, Ethernet cable. And that I've got all these projects going on here, so I've got me an 8-port switch that I'll be connecting my Frite. A USB cable. Male-to-male USB cable. I'll be using Rufus, Kermit, and Putty, and there's my refurbished PC over here that I've got. It's running Windows 10 Pro, and a claw hammer. I've got a claw hammer here. Let me do my camera up and see where I am in my notes. Let's see now. The Frite is in the all of this Libre computers in this series are in the firmware group. Let's see if I've got it. This is the on the Libre Computer website in their forum. The the Frite, the sweet potato, Solitude, and Alta. Those are the computers in this series that I'm making here. And I need to get back to my notes. Now you saw my the Frite that was running NetBSD 10 release candidate 1. Now I forgot exactly which firmware I used, but I did use one of the firmware files, older firmware files, to get NetBSD 10 installed. Now, for historical purposes, I do save my firmware files just in case I want to roll back a firmware to an operating system that needs one of the older versions of firmware. Keep a copy of your firmware. Sometimes your developers for the operating system, sometimes they use an older version of the firmware, so you may have to roll back your firmware. So yeah, let's download our utilities. I'm going to pause this video right now. All right, now this is the download portion of this video. We'll download the Debian base image from Libre Computer, and I prefer utilities that do not require an installation, and that's what I'll be using is Rufus and Putty. So if we go up here to my screen, let me see. This one, if we go to the products page, there's our the Frite. Click on that, and I believe it's their downloads. Click your downloads, and distros Debian, and we go to their distribution server, and Debian 12, and all of our images will be using the base. Well, for the Frite and the sweet potato, I'll be using the base Debian. You can see there's they don't have the model number in the name of the files. So all of the firmware single board computers from Libre will be using that base image. And it does not have the model number, so you just click on that and download it. Let me pause the video right here while it's downloading. All right, we've got our images downloaded. Let me go over here to my download page here. What was I going to do? I think it's this one right here. Downloads. Now, it's my policy that whenever I download something from the internet, I always scan for viruses and malware. So I'm going to scan my download with Microsoft Defender. Now, it will take a few minutes to scan this, so I will pause the video right now. And we are back. I scanned my download. It took 2 minutes and 13 seconds. The next thing, I am going to unzip, uncompress this. Now, I used 7-zip, so I'm going to extract here. Oops. Extract here. Let me pause this while it's and I'm back. I've got my image extracted. Now let's go back to my notes, Um, you kind of noticed I've got the compressed and the expanded image. Let me just kind of show you what we're talking about. Those images, if you haven't seen those, I've got the GNU in their partition editor manual. They have a simple ASCII drawing that kind of shows what we're talking about. Here's the image right here. There's if you've got a storage device with no, with a blank storage device here, there's no partitions in that device. Now those images that we just downloaded, they have a partition table and a partition one, and however many partitions there are, and that is what we're looking at. Let me show you. Let me get back to my screen over here. Let me show you what we're talking about. Oops, I got to copy those. I made a directory for this video, my working directory. Here's my working directory, and I've got an ISO directory for my images. So let's just copy these images over there to my working directory. I'll just, another thing I do is whenever when I download something from the internet, I go down to properties. This one's the one that I downloaded. Go down to properties and unblock and apply and OK. And let's copy. Oops. Copy. And I'm going to my working directory and paste. And it takes just a few seconds to paste it over there. All right. Let me get back to my working directory here. And here's my the expanded image, and then there's the compressed image. And what I wanted to show you was the format of those images. Actually, I need to get a wider terminal. Hold on, let me pause the video right here. I need to get a wider terminal. All right, I'm back. I've got a wider terminal here. I want to split the screen and show the binary. Show these files in binary. So here's our uncompressed image, or the image, and I'm going to open this in binary mode. This is my text editor that I wrote. And it takes just a minute to load that 2 gigabyte file. And I'm going to come over here. I think I might change the palette just a little bit. Is that? And split the screen vertically, and I will load that compressed image, and that's the compressed image, and I will load it in binary mode. and it takes just a minute for it to load that at 1.4 gigabyte. Now you'll notice too, see this is the uncompressed image, and that's the mostly blank, and this is the compressed image, and you can see right here 7Z, that was the format, 7ZXZ, that was the format of that file. 7Z was the utility that compressed it, and XZ is the name of the compression. I can turn on cursor sync and just kind of scroll through. See if the computer is looking for a blank partition table, and it sees over here all of this compressed image, it doesn't know what to do. So that's one thing to look about. Now let me get out of this, because that's what I wanted to show. There's a difference here. Now some utilities will actually read that format and can uncompress the image before it writes it to a device. Some will and some won't. So you have to be kind of careful. I'm going to get out of here. It takes just a minute to, okay, then get out of this one. It takes a minute to unload those several gigabytes of images. And there we are. We're back to that screen. And I'll get back to my notes. That was kind of what I wanted to show with split the screen for the binary image and the compressed image. Now let's download Rufus, Putty, and Kermit. Safety first. This is just my policy. Whenever I download something from the internet, I scan it for malware and viruses. So if we go to Rufus, and they've got a download link, and here's our download link, and all you have to do is download that executable, and it only takes a few seconds. So if I were to get back over here to my downloads, there's Rufus, and I will scan it. And it's pretty, no zero threats found. And now what I usually do is go down to the properties and then unblock. And okay. And copy. And I've got my working directory over there. Let me put my copy over here in my working directory. Okay, now let's see what is next on my list. Putty. Let's download Putty. And they've got a download section here. Now I'll just download the Putty executable with the client. Now they do have a number of utilities here that you can download, and they put all of their utilities in one zip file. But in this video, I'll just download just the client, just the terminal client. And that is complete. So we need to go over to our download directory, Putty, and we'll scan it. That's the scan for viruses and malware. Zero threats found. And then I'll go down to properties and unblock, apply, okay, and I will copy this to my working directory. That was putty. And this is my working directory for this video. And let's see the next one. Get to my notes. Download Kermit. Kermit is this one. The Kermit project. Click on our link. And let's see. Let's then have a click here. And download. And this is the one that we want right here for our 64-bit Windows PC. And click on that one. Well, let me just go back here because they're redirecting to a site there. Let me show you what they're doing. Actually, we can click on that link at the top here and download their Kermit. Yeah, let's see if we were to, here it is right here. Our Beta 5 64-bit. Okay, so we need to get back. That was, I clicked that link. They gave you a redirect warning right there. That's what that was. So I need to get over here to my downloads and scan for viruses and malware, and then go down to properties and unblock, apply, okay, and I will copy that, over to my working directory. For Kermit, and paste. All right, let's see where we're at here on my list. Yeah, there's dozens of terminal emulators, secure clients and servers. Just use whatever you like. Kermit is old school. I used to use Kermit back in the 1980s and 1990s to connect to various hosts and dial-up services. And I'll be using Kermit just for the first part of this video. Let me pause the video right here. Okay. Now we're ready to connect the cables. Now this is my microcontroller instructor advised to pinch the connectors when you're connecting the cables. Ground the if you grab it by the board, you increase the lever. So let me show you what I mean. I've got a claw hammer. See, if I've got a claw hammer, and so what I'm talking about is the lever to the claw. If I grab it by the end of the handle, I've got a long lever. Now, if I grab it by the claw, I shorten up the lever, so I don't have nearly as much. I don't have nearly the length of the lever when I'm connecting up the cables. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. Here's my board right here, and so when if I grab it by the edge, instead of by the connector, I lengthened that the lever, so it's easier to snap these connectors off the board. But if I pinch the connector when I'm connecting up my cables, I shorten that lever, and that's what I'm talking about, shortening the lever. Oops, let me move my camera back up. And while we're connecting the cables, you try not to pry or twist or rotate those connectors. Let's see here now. So yeah, now we're getting to the objective. We want to use U-boot to format the eMMC module and the USB drive. Let's connect the USB cable to the on-the-go connector, and we'll wait until we get to the U-boot prompt to connect the on-the-go cable to the computer. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Now here's my Frite right here, and we're talking about the on-the-go connector, and it's the one on the left. If I'm looking at it, there's the IR sensor, the infrared sensor is right there. So it's the one next to the infrared sensor, and I'll get my USB cable and pinch my connector. So I shorten up the lever, so I don't hold it by the edges and then try to connect the cable. I pinch the connector and then connect the cable. Now try not to twist or rotate or pry when you connect these cables up. And that's got our on-the-go USB cable. Now hold on just a second before we plug our cable into the PC. I need to connect my other cables. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. Then we get the on-the-go. There's they do have a boot sequence on the AM logic on the U-boot documentation. If you go to the U-boot documentation, you just scroll down. Keep on scrolling down, and architecture and board specific. The AM logic. These are AM logic chips. You just kind of scroll down a little bit, and oops, went past it. There's the AM logic boot flow, and that kind of gives you some information on when these single board computers are booting up. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Let's see here. Now I'll get back to my notes. That was let's connect the memory module and the USB drive and the power cable with the rocker switch off. Let me move my camera down. The eMMC module. Let's see here now. Here's my Now you have to be careful with the memory module. The pins are kind of delicate. Let me get my pen right here. Here's my ruler. These pins are delicate, and if you bend them, it's not covered by warranty, so you'll kind of damage your module if you're not very careful. So try to be very careful. Putting my memory module on here. Oops. There we go. I've got my memory module on my little Frite, and I want to connect the USB drive. I'm going to put that in the port right beside my on-the-go cable. Okay, and I need to hook up my power, and this is my power, and I can look and see that the switch is pointed towards the connector, so I flip it off so I know that the power is off. And I'm going to put my hammer down and connect up pinch my connector. Oops, let me turn it this way so you can see. Pinch the connector and plug it in. I kind of got the pins in the way right there. Okay, is that in there? It's in there tight. All right, so we're good right there. Now let me show you about the serial cable. Hold on, just move my camera up. Let me pause this video right here. All right, so we want to connect the serial cable. And what we do is we connect the ground to ground, and we cross our transmit and receive wires. Transmit goes to receive goes to transmit. And this is the USB side of my, oops. Of my serial cable, USB side, and then there's the pins. So white is going to transmit and green is going to receive. So let me show you now this is what I do. Let me put this over here. Now, let me move this right here. And this is my Adafruit cable right here. And what I do is get me some guitar picks and open up that case. And I got another one. Yeah. Open up that case, and I give me an index card, and I write down on my index card how those wires are connected to my USB serial chip right here. Black, green, and white. And so when I put my connect my wires to the board, I know my black is ground, white is going to transmit, and green is going to receive. So I'll put my case back together. And I need to show you where I got where the information is on how to connect these pins up. It's not kind of on these other boards. They've got a kind of a color coded. I think I've got one. Here's my pin right here. They've got a color coded pins right here dedicated for that UART. Oops, let me pull it down. For the UART, but on the Frite, they're kind of mixed in with this 40-pin header. So let me show you where that information is. Let me move the camera up. So Libre, they have a let's see if I've got it right here. Yeah, they do have some information here on this UART connection. Oops. And this is the Frite. Now they do tell you those are the pins, and that's the color sequence. Now we've got our card right here, so we know what those colors mean. So now they do have if we go to let me back up here. This is the Frite web page right here. If you go to help right there, and there's a header reference right there. And it takes you to this page here, and it's this S805, and that takes you to a spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet will show you what those pins are. There's the one, let's see, 1, 3, 5, 6, and they want us to, well, the odd numbers are on the bottom. Let me move them. Well, the odd numbers on the bottom, and the even numbers are across the top here. And so we need pin 3, 5, and 6. And 6 is the ground, and let's see what 5 is the transmit, and 3 is receive. So we know that one is white, and that one is green. And this one is, and the number 6 pin is the ground, that's black. So let's see if we can connect those. Let me put my camera down. Okay. So, oops. Black goes to 6. That's what? 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. That's where that black one goes. The white was the transmit. It goes to number 5. So that's 1, 3, 5. And the green goes to receive. That goes on the pin number 3. Oops, can you see that? All right, so we've got our serial cable ready. All right, let me move my camera back up here. Now that was that information I kind of wanted to show you. They've got a spreadsheet here that shows you what these pins, the function of those pins. So let me get back to my there's my, get back to my notes. We've got our serial cable is connected. Check the COM port on the device manager. Now, I want you to notice too, now I do not use an administrator account in Windows to do routine tasks. I create a non-admin user in Windows similar to Linux and NetBSD. And to find that COM port, let me plug in I'm going to plug in our serial cable. Okay, and the COM port, you just go down to the start button down here and right click, and it's the device manager. And see that pop-up window right here? You have to be logged on as an administrator to make changes. I just kind of want to bring that to your attention. I'm not using a administrator account to do this because I just want to look at the port number, and it's this one right here, the UART bridge, and that's COM 4. So let's close this. Now we're just about ready to start Kermit. Let me see if I can get over there to Kermit. I'm going to extract. Oops. Extract here. And here's our Kermit. And K95, just double click that. See, I don't have to install Kermit. It's just all the files that are needed are in that subdirectory. And let me see if I can get the Kermit started. Let's see. Let me get over there to that screen. I've got some notes to kind of show you what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing with Kermit to start the connection here, and it's let's see, set modem type to none, set line to COM 4, COM 4, set speed to 115, 200, set carrier watch off, set flow to none, set serial to 8N1, 8-bit, set term color firm to black on white. That kind of in the way right there. Move that cursor. And now I think we're ready to connect. So just connect. Now let me get back over here to my notes because I got to be very careful here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. When I turn that power switch on, I've only got 1 second to press that key to stay in U-boot, and I want to stay in U-boot. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is that power. Let me move my camera down. So this is my power switch. Now, whenever I turn that thing on, I only got 1 second, so I got to get over here to to stay in U-boot. So I'm going to mash and I got to get over here to my Kermit screen right here too. Let's see, can you see that? I'm going to turn it on. All right, now get 1 second. Okay, so you only got 1 second to stay in U-boot. All right. Now, there's several. Now, let me show you the other thing before I get too far ahead. Now, before I mentioned to hold up on, wait a minute before you connect your on-the-go cable. This is the on-the-go USB cable that's going to my USB port. Now, this is when I plug this port in, this wire in, cable. Oops, if I got it upside down. All right. So I got my on-the-go cable attached. Now, there's several places on the internet you can find this the U-boot information. Texas Instruments, they have a lot of good U-boot info. So let me get over here to my Kermit question mark. That lists the U-boot commands. And I believe I had, what was I wanting to demonstrate right here? Boot devices and boot list. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you type boot devices, or boot dev, they give you a kind of a short description of what the U-boot command is. And what I want to do is this one right here, boot dev list. And that lists the available boot devices. There's the that eMMC module, and there's our USB storage. So the other thing I wanted to show you, let me get to my notes. I think I should, list block. That lists the block devices. LSBOK. List the block devices and the number right here. The memory module is eMMC 0, and the USB is USB 0 for that device. Now they do have a web page on that. Let me get over here to my U-boot, the U-boot manual. They do have some commands here that you can look up, and UMS, there it is right there, UMS, and that's what this page is. It kind of gives you a short description and an example how to use UMS, and that's the one that makes a USB gadget to connect. Let me get back over here to my notes. All right. Now I think we're ready to, I'm kind of ready to show you what I'm talking about with U-boot. What we're going to do is do the UMS command for the memory module 0. Then we'll use Rufus to write the image, and we'll eject the USB, and Control-C stops that gadget. So let's see if I can remember what. Go over here. Oops, wrong one. This one. There's our device that we want to use, and it's UMS 0 eMMC 0. And that starts the gadget, the USB gadget. And it should show, yeah, it shows up on our devices right there. And so if I were to come over here, there's our boot devices, boot drives right there. And let me get over here to you got to get over here to Rufus. That's what I use. I've been using Rufus for years to write my images, and you just double click on Rufus. Let's see here now, and it shows up our device. And in Rufus, you can select either. You can select either the compressed or the uncompressed image. That's the uncompressed image, and this. So let's just like the compressed image out there, the XZ image, just to show you that Rufus can handle either the compressed image or the uncompressed. It's going to take a little while for us to write out there, so I'm going to pause the video right here. All right, Rufus just wrote that image, and just bring it. I want to bring it to your attention now that I wrote the compressed image, that XZ image. Rufus is smart enough to know that that's a compressed image, and it will uncompress it before it writes out there to that memory module. So let's close, and we go over here to Kermit and Control C. Whoops, before I do that, now I always go over here to my tray and check to see if I need to eject a USB device. Okay, there's none showing there, so I'm ready to stop my gadget. Okay, now there's, we wrote the image. Let me get back to my notes. If we do this block devices, the next one is the USB drive. Now I put both of the memory module and the USB in there. Now you can do these separately. I just did it just for for this video. I just wanted to show you can do either one. Now to start the USB, you have to, before you write anything, you have to use the USB start. So let me just come over here to Kermit. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you type USB, it'll list you the commands there in the USB subsystem, and you have to do the start before you start using the device. So it's USB start. And if we did that, this block, and there's our USB device right there. So it's UMS 0 USB 0. And we should show up over here on our, let me get over here to Rufus. And see, there's our USB, that bulk device that shows up. Now on this one, I'm going to select that uncompressed image right there and write this one just to show you now that Rufus can handle either format. And start, and OK. Now this takes a long time. I'm working with a one of those bulk USB drives, flash drives, and it is slow. So I just wanted to warn you that this takes a long time. And I am going to pause the video right here. All right, Rufus has finished writing. So let's close. Now, whenever I use the eMMC gadget, I like to check the tray down there just to see if there's anything that needs to be ejected before I start disconnecting things. So, and it's Control C. Control C, that stops the gadget. Let me see where I was at on my, Control C. Then before I eject everything, let me just show you a few of the commands that you can use in U-Boot. ls, that's ls, the device, interface and the device number. So it's ls USB. Well, we can do the eMMC too while we're here. ls USB. And they should be the same because we wrote the images. And that kind of just shows you, we wrote the image to the memory module, and it was compressed. Rufus uncompressed it, and there it is. We wrote it to the USB flash drive. But ls USB 0, that was that list block. So this is what we're doing right here. ls USB 0 or partition 0, and that's the partition table, so we won't see any files in there. But if we do the first partition and then the second partition, and those are the files in the second partition. All right, let me see what I got here. Now you can also, in Windows, let me get over here to Windows. This is the what I'm talking about. If we go over here to this the image, now if we open the image with 7-zip, open archive, it shows us the, it should show us the, and it'll take a minute to do this. I should, let me pause that video right here. All right, we're back. We're in 7-zip. So these are these two partitions that we just looked at. So we could go in there. See, there's that EFI subdirectory. If we go back up, where's my back? I thought I had my back button right there. Well, let me just back up manually here. Okay, and then here's our other partition. Partition number 2. Let me get out of that. All right, I'm back. There's that other partition right here. If we just double click that, it should be the same files that we saw. Oh man, let me get out of that. Well, let me scratch that. That second partition, it's got a Linux file system in there, so it won't be able to. It won't. I can't show it. But anyway, that's what I was wanting to show. With the U-boot command. So let me get back over here to my notes. USB stop. And that stops our USB, and I think I'm ready to turn the power off. And let me pause. All right, so I want to remove the memory module, the eMMC memory module, remove the cable, the on-the-go cable, and we'll start Debian. I'll have to show you where that is. Let me move my camera down. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, we need to turn our power off. Look, before I do that, now I disconnect my cables in reverse order, so I need to undo my on-the-go cable first. Okay, now I've got it unplugged. Now this is when I turn the power off, and I'll disconnect this cable. See, I've always pinched the connectors. And let me take this USB that we wrote our image. Now on the back is the memory module. Now let me show you how I disconnect the memory module. You have to be very careful with the memory module because those pins are it's easy to bend the pins is what I'm saying. So I get me a guitar pick and be very careful and gently remove this memory module because those are expensive, and if I bend the pins, it's not covered under warranty. So I kind of slip that in there. And there's my guitar pick, and just gently remove it with my guitar picks. And that's how I remove the memory module. Now that I've got our Frite, we connect the USB, that bulk flash drive. It goes into that on-the-go port, USB port. It's right here by the it's right here by the IR sensor. It's the one on the left. Let's see here now. And plug that up. I should have do it this way right here. All right. Move my camera back up. Oops, let me scroll my. See, I need to connect the Ethernet cable before I turn that thing on. Let me move my camera back down. Okay, here's our Frite. Let's see how I'm going to do this. Maybe like this. And I've got an Ethernet cable that's going to my 8-port switch. And I connect my Ethernet cable up. All right. Now I think I've got my cables ready. I'm going to move my camera back up. All right, now I think I'm ready to turn the power on. Let me just scroll. Yeah, when I turn the power on, it should boot from the on-the-go drive that we wrote that image. So let me turn the power. Oops, let me get over here to the other thing. Let me just stop. I'm going to stop this right here. This is current. I'm going to switch over to putty because I think a lot of people use putty. I use putty. And there's putty right here. And serial. And it's COM4. And speed 115. And open. And I'm going to change the settings to appearance. I want a Lucinda font, and I want a little bit bigger, maybe a 16. And colors, use system colors. All right, that's so you can see it a little better here. Okay, now I'm going to turn the power on. Here's my, you can see my thing. I'm going to turn the power on. All right, and we should boot from our USB device. Now it's very slow. Now I'm going to pause the video again because it's very slow when this process from here on out takes about an hour. Well, there it goes. There it's booting up. It takes an hour to update and upgrade the operating system. Let's see here. This part's not so bad. Yeah, there we go. It's coming up. There. Okay, now we got to a login. But let me just show you the over here on the Libre website. On these base images, the default username and password is root and root right there. So let's get over there. It's root, oops, root and root. And we need to change our password from root to our new password. Okay, now while I'm here, let me just show you, if you scroll on down a little bit, Let's see, did they show you? Oh, here we go. That's what I'm looking for right here. We need to add a user and add them to the pseudo group here. Oops, wrong. And it's sudo add user and Batman and sudo, oops, give him a password. Okay. And we need to add sudo add user Batman to sudo. Okay, that was that screen up here. To get a non-admin user. Let me get back to this, to my notes right here. You could put in an SD card in a reader, and it would be a little bit faster. If we get over there to our, the next thing I do is upgrade apt update, and that updates the database. But let me check the date on here to make sure we've got our date right. Yeah, the date looks okay. Now I do the apt update, and it takes a long time. This will take about an hour. So I'm going to pause the video. All right, we've done the update. Now we do the upgrade. Oops. Apt upgrade, and this takes a long time. I will pause the video. Oops, let me answer that yes. Okay, now I'll pause the video. All right, so I've got my Debian 12. I did the update and the upgrade. Now I'm going to reboot. Yes, and it takes a while. Should take a while to do this. So let's make sure we can reboot. And I believe it's coming back. And the USB flash drive is kind of slow, but it can be done. That's kind of what I wanted to show. And it's kind of booting up. And we should get to a login screen in just a minute. Let's see. There's our login screen. Our login non-admin login was Batman. Batman. All right, there we're back here. Let me get over here to my. Now I want to install the Open Secure Shell server. Let me get over here to. If you do the D package list, it should show. Let's get over there. By default, Debian does not install that server. So let me get over here to my notes. They have a wiki. Debian has a wiki, and let me show you that right here. Get to the top. Debian have a wiki on the Secure Shell server, and you just kind of scroll down, and this is what we're doing now. Let me see here now. I wanted to show you. Let's see here. Yes, by default, the server is relatively secure. There's some suggestions that they have, but before I install the server, I wanted to show you that just to make you aware. And this is the command that I will be using to install the server. It's sudo apt install Open Shell server. And it takes a while for this to install. I'm going to pause the video right here. All right, so I've got my server installed on my Frite. I should be able to secure shell into it. I've got a window here that let me get I got to get the IP address. Hold on just a second. What's the IP? It's 192.13. Let's see if I can secure shell to Batman at 192.168.1.13. I got the keygen to 192.168.1.13. Now let's see if I can do that again. Yes. All right, now I can secure shell from my local network. Now I did want to bring this to your attention. Let me get to my notes. Now this is my configuration. I've got a Netgear wireless router. I've got my local network, and my internet comes into the refurbished router. Now, I've got port forwarding disabled on my Netgear router. Now by default, the firewall in that Netgear router blocks the incoming attempts by devices on the internet to your local network. So I can, on my local network, I can secure shell into my Libre computers. Now, if you want to open up that port forwarding in the Netgear router, I would suggest consulting somebody besides me on how to configure that. I don't want to give you some bad advice here. And so why would you run a Frite with a bulk USB drive? Well, on one of my standalone isolated networks, I've got a Raspberry Pi Zero, and it's got a USB GPS puck on there running as a time server. And that simple GPS puck, we can get around about several milliseconds from the universal coordinated time. And it has been running for about 5 years on that isolated network as a time server. Now, if I needed another time server, I would use a Libre Computer Frite to run that time server. And there are some users on the Libre Computer forum, and they have made a Stratum 1 time server with the GPS module with the PPS at pulse per second. So this is what I wanted to show you on my video, how to use some of the U-boot commands. And you can actually run the Frite with with just a USB flash drive right here. So thank you for watching. That's video number 2 out of 5. So thank you for watching.